The sun rose over the golden sands of Egypt, its fiery glow marking the power of Ra, the supreme god, whose very name held the force of creation. Every dawn was a renewal of his dominion, a promise that life would continue. But deep within the hidden archives of the temple, a lone scribe named Neferet had stumbled upon a truth no mortal was ever meant to know: the secret name of Ra. A name so powerful that if spoken aloud, it could unmake the sun itself. She had not sought it. She had only been searching for wisdom, buried in the scrolls of forgotten ages. Yet, among brittle papyri and sacred inscriptions, she found it, etched in symbols so old they predated the kingdom itself. The name was not written in full, but its presence was undeniable. Neferet could feel the weight of it pressing into her mind, the power humming beneath her skin. But with knowledge came danger. Ra was the sun, the source of life, and yet he was also a force that ruled with unyielding might. His priests controlled the kingdom, whispering that to defy Ra was to defy order itself. If they discovered what she knew, she would be silenced before she could even draw breath to speak the name aloud. She could not keep this knowledge alone, and so, against all reason, Neferet sought the one god who had never bowed to Ra, the god of storms, the outcast, the enemy of order itself. Set. Set was the god of chaos, the unpredictable storm that tore through the desert, feared and reviled for his defiance. But Neferet knew that in chaos there was truth. Set had battled the oppressive rule of his brother Osiris. He had fought against the great serpent Apep, and he had survived the scorn of the gods. If anyone could help her protect this secret, it was him. Finding him was no easy task. The temples did not speak his name, and his worship had been all but erased from the great cities. But in the deep sands, in the whispers of the wind, she called to him, and Set answered. He came as a storm, red-eyed and laughing, his presence crackling with untamed power. "Mortal," he mused, circling her like a predator, "do you know what you have done?" Neferet stood firm. "I have found the name that can unmake the sun." Set's laughter ceased. He watched her with something between amusement and calculation. "And you seek my help? To do what? Destroy Ra?" "No," she said, "to protect it. To ensure that no hand, divine or mortal, can ever use it." Set tilted his head, intrigued. "You would trust chaos over order." She met his gaze. Chaos is honest, order deceives. For the first time, Set regarded her with something like respect. He could have taken the name for himself, used it to strike at the gods who had cast him aside. But Neferet had offered something no other had. She did not seek to use the power, only to keep it from those who would. But even as Set agreed to aid her, forces beyond Egypt stirred. The power of an unmade sun did not belong to one pantheon alone. Beyond the black waters, beyond the desert and the temples, another force had awakened, one that had slept since the world's first dawn. Tiamat, the Babylonian chaos goddess, the primordial mother of monsters. She was the sea before there was land, the darkness before there was light. And she had felt the disturbance. The moment Neferet had uncovered the name, the moment she had drawn its power into her mortal mind, Tiamat had known. For she, too, was once unmade. Tiamat had been slain by Marduk, her body split apart to form the heavens and the earth. Her rage had become the waters, her sorrow the winds. She had been betrayed, her power stolen, and now she saw a chance to reclaim what had been taken. If Ra could be undone, so too could the order of all gods. She did not come as a storm, as Set had. She came as a wave, a shadow rising from the sea, her form shifting, monstrous and divine. Set was chaos, but he was a god of this world. Tiamat was something before gods, before even the world itself. And so the battle was set, not for war, not for conquest, but for the name of the sun itself. Neferet stood at the center, mortal and fragile, holding a secret that neither pantheon could be allowed to claim. Set, with his storms, and Tiamat, with her abyss, clashed in a battle that shook the very foundation of existence. Lightning met waves, the desert winds roared against the primordial tides. But Neferet, clever as she was, knew that no god could be trusted with such a weapon. She knew that if she let either side win, the balance would be shattered, and so, in the heart of the chaos, she did the only thing she could. She spoke the name, not as a weapon, not as a curse, but as an offering to the void. She gave it to the winds, to the shifting sands, to the depths of the sea where no god could reach. And as the last echoes of the name vanished into nothingness, the battle ceased. Tiamat, sensing that the power was lost, withdrew into the depths, her fury simmering beneath the waves. Set, seeing that the balance had been preserved, only laughed and vanished into the storm. Neferet, exhausted and alone, had won. The name of Ra, the power to unmake the sun, was gone. It would never fall into the hands of gods or mortals again. And yet, as she looked at the sky, she wondered, had she saved the world, or had she only delayed its inevitable end? For names, once spoken, are never truly forgotten.